Okay. So to add more value to my presentation, I thought it would be better to present first a relevant health issue like macular degeneration, discuss how it happens, understand what needs to be done, and see how and what Atomy health supplements can help. It is meant to help us gain an integrated perspective and thus increase our level of competence and confidence when dealing with it. Having said that, allow me to discuss the topic of macular degeneration. It is a prevalent age-related eye condition, most common among people over age 60, that causes vision changes and may result in legal blindness. And as the growing population over 65, not just in the US, but particularly in the US, as it increases over the years, the number of people with macular degeneration is expected to grow. By 2050, it is expected to grow to nearly 22 million. While age is one of the factors that may cause macular degeneration, there are other factors that may also play a role, including chronic inflammation, poor diet and lifestyle, chronic stress and poor sleep, too much screen time on devices, nutrient deficiencies, and high levels of liver toxicity. All this can increase oxidative stress and accelerate the degenerative processes of the eye. We must be mindful that the eyes are especially susceptible to oxidative stress and free radical activity than any other organ, which result in functional eye deficits such as cataracts, glaucoma, blurry vision, and of course, macular degeneration. Macular degeneration affects your retina. It is an important part of your eye, found at the back of your eye. They respond to light and help your eyes to interpret light wavelengths and understand images. They basically help you see. The macula is at the center of the retina. It is responsible for our color vision and our central vision. The reason why we can appreciate and differentiate different colors is because of our macula. And the reason why we can see very clear details, why we can read very clearly, or why we can drive at night is because of the macula. And when macular degeneration occurs, your retina's health becomes compromised and your vision changes. The main symptoms of macular degeneration include blurry or fuzzy vision, difficulty reading, especially in low light, difficulty seeing details in low light levels, blurred central vision, straight lines appear distorted or wavy, blurry areas on a printed page, extra sensitivity to glare, some colors can become darker. This is how people with macular degeneration see things. They see dark spots, and in its advanced stage, the central vision is lost, although the peripheral vision is maintained. Peripheral vision is what allows you to see what's on your left and what's on your right. Central vision is what allows you to see what's in front of you. So with macular degeneration, we lose our central vision. While age may be a factor, yet the root cause is often the combination of poor dietary and lifestyle choices. So let's look at them one by one. Macular degeneration is the result of inflammation, damage, and changes of the nerves, tissues, and cells in your eyes, and changes to your retinal pigment epithelium, which may eventually damage the retina and macula cells. Remember that inflammation doesn't just happen in one area of your body. It may be body-wide or system-wide. Chronic inflammation is one of the root causes of most modern-day diseases like cardiovascular disease, diabetes, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, dementia, and vision problems like macular degeneration. Poor diet and lifestyle. Your diet and lifestyle choices have everything to do with your health. Healthy lifestyle choices include regular exercise, nutrient-dense diet, reducing stress, maintaining a healthy weight, time in nature, reducing exposure to chemicals, good quality sleep, no to smoking, no to alcoholism. Without paying attention to these factors, you increase your risk of inflammation. Eating a poor diet full of refined sugar, refined oil, processed foods, and junk food with little to no greens, vegetables, fruits, healthy fats, and clean protein will lead to increased chronic inflammation in your body. Add to this the poor lifestyle choices, and you increase your risk of inflammation and macular degeneration even more. Among the food that can be detrimental to your health is sugar. Sugar is really the biggest culprit. There is not a single disease that has not been made worse by eating sugar-rich food, and there's not a single disease that has been made better by eating sugar-loaded food. Smoking may also lead to macular degeneration. Cigarette smoke contains 4,700 chemicals that are incredibly toxic to your body. Repeated exposure of your retinal cells to these chemicals may accelerate your aging process, increase free radicals in your body, and decrease your body's ability to protect itself and repair damage. Stress may be associated with higher inflammation levels and inflammatory diseases, including macular degeneration. Furthermore, people with vision changes and macular degeneration may experience more stress, anxiety, or depression, which may lead to further inflammation and macular damage. This now becomes a vicious cycle. Sleep is the time of the day when your body can finally rest and repair. Getting poor sleep means you are not allowing your cells to regenerate and take care of the damage. It has been found out that insomnia may increase the risk of macular degeneration. Following the circadian rhythm, the best hours for us to really be in bed are from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. Those are the hours that our bodies are fully regenerating, fully restoring back to good health, and even our immune system is fully restoring. And we are also at that from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. detoxifying. Our body is getting rid of our toxins. Too much screen time on devices. Sunlight is made up of a variety of lights, including blue, indigo, violet, red, orange, yellow, and green. The blue rays have more energy and shorter wavelengths. Blue light exposes your eyes to more wavelengths on the blue end of the spectrum. Different sources of blue light include fluorescent light, LED light, flat screen LED televisions, computer monitors, iPad, cell phones, and of course, the biggest source of blue light is the sky, and this is why the oceans and the skies are colored blue. Spending too much time on your technology screens may have long-term negative effects. Children's eyes absorb even more blue light than adults. When your cornea, lens, and retina is exposed to blue light, it may affect your vision and result in premature aging of your eyes, leading to cataracts, pterygium, and macular degeneration. Nutrient deficiencies are one of the main factors behind premature aging, age-related diseases, and macular degeneration. Specifically linked to eye damage and macular degeneration are deficiencies in zinc, vitamin A, lutein, quercetin, and omega-3 fatty acids. Zinc, you need a daily dose of 50 milligrams to slow down disease progression. Vitamin A is one of the main vitamins that has been linked to the reduction of macular degeneration. Lutein, it is a carotenoid with anti-inflammatory properties. It is a powerful antioxidant and may prevent macular degeneration. The macular pigment comprises of zeaxanthin, lutein, and mesozeaxanthin. Collectively, we call these three the xanthophylls. Of the three xanthophylls, it is lutein that represents the greatest percentage. At the time of birth, we have abundant supply of lutein found richly in our lens and macula. As we reach the age of 40, it starts to decrease. And when we hit the age 60, our lutein reaches rock bottom, meaning it's almost at a negligible level. So what is the importance of lutein? It filters or blocks the blue light to prevent the blue light from damaging our eyes. Quercetin, it is a commonly eaten, it is found in commonly eaten food like onions, cherry tomatoes, broccoli, blueberries, and apples. They're all good sources of quercetin. If you have been following up the treatment protocol that has been recommended for COVID-positive patients since the start of pandemic in 2020, quercetin has always been mentioned as playing a very crucial role in helping us fight the COVID disease. Omega-3 and fatty acids are healthy fats and anti-inflammatory, found in fish, seafood, and algae, as well as in certain seeds such as hemp, chia, and flax seeds. These may benefit patients with intermediate or advanced macular degeneration. Your liver is an important organ that is responsible for detoxification. Research works have found an association between retinopathy and non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, suggesting that your liver health is crucial when it comes to eye health and the prevention of macular degeneration. Natural support strategies for macular degeneration. It all begins with the things we can control, such as our diet, sleep, our sleeping habits, movement, screen time, hydration, etc. We need to reduce inflammation as quickly as possible through good hydration, regular movement, anti-inflammatory nutrition, by reducing stress and improving sleep, and using key nutrients to support a healthy inflammatory process. Eating an anti-inflammatory, nutrient-dense diet is crucial. Remove all inflammatory foods, including refined sugar and grains, gluten, refined oils, deep fried and processed foods, grain-fed meat and eggs, soda, and sugary drinks, and even conventional dairy. Switch to an anti-inflammatory diet plan with lots of greens, veggies, low glycemic index foods, herbs, grass-fed meat, and wild-caught fish. Reduce stress and optimize sleep. Consider regular meditation, breath work, daily gratitude, prayer, journaling, regular exercise, and nature walks. Regular movement and exercise helps to reduce chronic stress and chronic inflammation, and thus help to reduce various risk factors of macular degeneration. You need to optimize your hydration. Most of your body is made up of water. So clearly, it is essential for health, detoxification, and low inflammation levels. Start your day with a large glass of water. Add some lemon or apple cider vinegar for digestion and cleansing support. So how much water do you need every day? Multiply your weight in kilos times 50 ml. If, for example, you weigh 80 kilos times 50, that's a lot. That's 4,000 ml or 4 liters in a day. This is the total amount for the day that you should be drinking. If you miss out on this day after day, you will become chronically dehydrated, and that can translate to a lot of health problems. Simple, not really simple, but very frequent problems like migraine, headache, vertigo, etc. Most of the time, they are related to because of lack of water intake. So improving the water intake can contribute significantly to the improvement of such concerns. You need to limit your screen time and spend more time outdoors. Some chronic problems like cataracts, pterygium, and macular degeneration had been linked to our exposure to blue light, a high energy light. Consider a liver cleanse. As you have learned, liver toxicity may contribute to inflammation, which leads to macular degeneration. A liver cleanse may just be what you need to turn your health around. Optimize your levels of the superfoods for optimal eye health. So what are these superfoods for optimal eye health? They include your vitamin C, zeaxanthin, vitamin A, retinol, carotenoids, antioxidants, as many different kinds of antioxidants as possible, omega-3s, vitamin A, lutein. So to summarize, macular degeneration is an increasingly prevalent eye condition considered as the most common cause of blindness in old age. The good news is there are a variety of natural strategies you can try to help support macular degeneration. And what can Atomy offer by way of its health supplements to prevent macular degeneration? First, we have our HemoHim, a very powerful, super potent antioxidant. And any antioxidant is necessarily also an anti-inflammatory supplement. And one of the most amazing benefits of HemoHim is that it can help generate stem cells, both the mesenchymal and the hematopoietic stem cells. Stem cells are what our body needs for it to self-renew or regenerate. Without adequate stem cells or with poor quality stem cells, you deny your body the self-renewal benefit or the chance to really recover from any health conditions. Presently, there's a lot of ongoing research using stem cells on the treatment of macular degeneration. We should be grateful that with HemoHim, that can really help generate stem cells. Omega-3 is also a very powerful antioxidant. It consists of 2 fatty acids, the EPA and the DHA. And the EPA is considered as the most powerful anti-inflammatory supplement on this planet Earth. So it is omega-3 is well recognized for its role in helping save the macula. So how much is enough? Make sure to read the supplement facts to know how much EPA plus DHA you are getting. A 1,000 milligram fish oil soft gel refers only to the size of the soft gel, not the levels of EPA plus DHA. So you have to really look for the EPA and DHA levels. To avoid deficiency of omega-3, you need at least 500 milligrams. For proactive support, 1 gram. And for high intensity support, 2 to 4 grams. I usually recommend 3 grams, although 4 grams in some exceptional instances, in cases where there is a high requirement for an anti-inflammatory supplement. And omega-3 really plays a role in the treatment of almost every disease because, as I have often emphasized, inflammation is at the root cause of practically all known health conditions, and that every single disease has inflammation at the cellular level. And omega being a very potent anti-inflammatory supplement, it's easy to conclude that omega-3 is really part of the treatment of practically all health conditions. Let us all remember also that the DHA, one of the fatty acids, is a vital ingredient of the cell membrane. You're looking or talking of trillions of cells in your body. Each and every cell has a membrane, of course, and in that membrane, you need DHA. So that's how important omega-3 is for our overall health. So the ultimate eye vitamin is, of course, our lutein, as I had mentioned earlier. When talking of macular degeneration, which is usually age-related, we call it the ARMD, age-related macular degeneration. But it can also occur even among much younger people if they are not mindful of the lifestyle choices that they need to avoid. Overexposure, especially among our young people, to technology, high technology, with all the advances, especially the 5G. That is really something very crucial because that can accelerate the process of the generation of the lens and the macula. So for those who are in a work that cannot avoid using computer all day long, one precaution is that they should wear the blue shield eyeglasses or the PC eyeglasses to help protect their eyes against the harmful effects of your blue light. Spirulina is also a very powerful antioxidant, anti-inflammatory supplement. It is nutrient dense. It's actually called a superfood, the best superfood of the present century, with all the necessary vitamins and minerals enriched in omega-3. It also helps detoxify the liver. It is rich in chlorophyll. So how important is that? Chlorophyll promotes optimal liver health and the body's natural elimination of potentially harmful toxins. Chia seeds, although we don't have it here yet, but Atomy USA, they have it there, and perhaps in other countries, of course, Korea. So chia seeds, they're very rich in omega-3 and of course, high in fiber. So it will help with a very regular bowel movement. Milk thistle, we're all very familiar with milk thistle. It is the most commonly used medicinal plant in the world for liver health, prescribed to treat alcoholic cirrhosis and chronic hepatitis. And lastly, you have your vitamin C, which should always be part of our daily healthy regimen. It being a very powerful antioxidant, anti-inflammatory supplement, antitoxin. It also played a great crucial role. Then and until now, is still highly recommended when trying to prevent or be in control of this COVID disease. So there you are. There is a huge population out there of people suffering from macular degeneration who can be helped by our Atomy health supplements. It is my hope that you have understand fully the mechanics why macular degeneration happens and how we can be in control, be proactive in controlling it. So let me stop my sharing now.
Let's clap our hands to Dr. Ofelia Tordesillas for that very informative lecture, ma'am. We learned a lot, especially how to take care of our health regarding with the macular degeneration. So now, I know we all have a lot of questions to our Dr. Ofelia Tordesillas. This is our time to ask our questions to her. Anyone who want to ask question, you can unmute your mic, or you can also raise your hand so that I can call you. Yes, Charles Master from La Salvaria. Kindly unmute mo.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much, Dr. Ofelia Tordesillas. I just would like to ask Doc, because my kids now in grade 3 and grade 6, one is farsighted and one is nearsighted, maybe because of the too much usage of gadgets. So is it, we have Atomy supplements like luasantin and lutein. So is it is it okay to give them like lutein and zeaxanthin for their age, grade 3 and grade 6?
Actually, at that age, they are still very rich in lutein. They have an abundant supply of lutein. So not really, in particular, not really advisable to supplement them with lutein. To be more proactive about controlling or slowing down the progression of whatever eye conditions they might have, then are you or have you asked them to wear the blue shield eyeglasses?
Yes, Doc. They have now the eyeglasses, and we went to the optical, and then they, including the blue light, with the glasses. So we can't give them supplements. Just let it be.
If you can find a supplement that is appropriate for their age, because our lutein stock preparation is really meant for adults, 20 milligrams and up. So I have yet to encounter a preparation which is appropriate for that very young age group. So you just need to supplement them with a lot of vegetables, and that you can really provide them with a lot of lutein on top of the fact that their body at this point is still very rich in lutein.
And another thing is we have blueberry juice in Atomy. That could be a house blueberry juice.
Eat my heart out. I wish you have that here.
Oh, okay. So that would be a good supplements for them for their eye health as well. No?
Yeah, precisely. Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much,
any food supplement that is rich in vitamin A, that is a precursor of lutein. Remember that lutein is a kind of carotenoid, exactly like what your vitamin A is. In nature, we have about 600 different carotenoids, but the most important are around 3 of them, and that number 1 is lutein. So you can find that in all green leafy vegetables, blueberries, like that.
Okay, thank you so much, Doc.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you very much for answering Charles Master Mamuzel's question, Dr. Ofelia Tordesillas. Now, anyone who want to ask their question to our speaker, kindly unmute your mic or raise your hand. This is our chance. Okay. Anyone? If I can see you raising your hand, you can also. Okay, I see Ma'am Liberty Pataksil. Yes, ma'am. You don't have audio, ma'am. Okay, maybe we can go back to you later on, Ma'am Liberty. And okay, I can see Ma'am Cindy raising her hand. Yes, ma'am. We'll get back to you later, Ma'am Liberty. Okay, thank you. Yes, Ma'am Cindy. Kindly unmute your mic.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Asking the good supplement for my kids. He was in the hospital as of now, and he has meningitis. To get his immune system recover faster. What is the good supplement for my kids, because he's still staying there for about 5 days already.
You can never go wrong with our Himuhim. Remember what Himuhim is all about? It's a functional health food supplement that is meant to strengthen your immune system big time. Your child needs to take Himuhim. So it will work along several different mechanisms on how it helps strengthen the immune system, including helping create a robust population of natural killer cells and also helping you generate more of the T lymphocytes, which are part of the adaptive immune system, which will help in the production of antibodies and all those. So Him, of course, I don't know if you have had the chance to watch my last year's in-depth presentation of the different products where I did a preliminary discussion first of how diseases happen, discussing the concepts of chronic inflammation, free radicals, oxidative stress, and the importance of really keeping your intestinal microbiome healthy, because all diseases start in your intestine and all recovery will have to start also from your intestine. That's why in treating health conditions, I am always mindful to look at the intestinal microbiome first and foremost. Even our immune system is greatly dependent on how healthy the microbiome is. Because remember, 80% of your immune cells are found in the same area and environment right behind where the trillions of bacteria are in our intestine, 80% of them. And they rely on the microbiome. The microbiome dictates to the immune cells how they will behave, how they will respond, and when they will respond. Let me repeat this time, but I have often said that your body can never be healthy if you do not have a healthy immune system, but your immune system can never be healthy if you do not have a healthy intestinal microbiome. So what I'm trying to say is, in strengthening the immune system of your child, you also have to look at the health of the intestinal microbiome by making sure she gets or he gets enough dose of probiotics to speed up that process of healing in the intestinal environment. Of course, the Himuhim is really very crucial. I remember, if I may share, years ago, there was this Atomy member of ours. I was then outside of the country. She messaged me asking me what I can advise to their 17-year-old nephew, 17 years old, has been confined for almost 2 weeks, given 3 different kinds of super powerful, super potent antibiotics, but did not improve a bit. And all workups proved to be negative. So it was a case of a 2-week malignant fever. When you say malignant fever, the temperature was really unrelenting, 40 to 42, 40 to 42, never really went down. All blood works, including culture of anything that can be cultured, blood culture, urine culture, all turned out to be negative. It was not typhoid, it was not malaria, it was not anything. But the boy was really sick, 2 weeks, malignant fever. So I requested the aunt, the one who was messaging me, please send me a screenshot of all the laboratory results that had been done so I can go through them. So reading or reviewing the laboratory results, there was only one thing that proved to be very relevant, and that is the WBC, or the white blood cell count found in your complete blood count. The white blood cell count is within the normal range of 5,000 to 10,000. In that particular case, the WBC count was down at 2. So I immediately texted and gave her the message that your nephew can succumb anytime with such a very, very low WBC, because WBC is at the front line of our immune system. Remember that you have 5 different kinds of white blood cells, Among them are your lymphocytes, the T lymphocytes, etc., which are all very crucial for forming your antibodies. The T lymphocytes, they nurture your B lymphocytes to form plasma cells, and plasma cells will now form the antibodies. So your nephew is at a very crucial stage. The WBC is very low. He cannot afford to be in that kind of a situation for longer than he's been through it now. So I suggest that you load him up with Hemohim. The concern then, especially years ago, no doctor would ever allow, anybody who's not into Atomy, they will never allow that. So I advise the aunt, then don't let him know. You have to do it secretly, but you have to act on it urgently. In the interest of time, you need to trust me, trust God, trust Atomy, trust me. I won't belabor anymore with explaining to you any further, but you have to start it right now. Load him up with him, and I will monitor closely. Let me know how it will play out. And by the grace of God, in 2 days' time, the fever started to subside. From 40 to 42, it went down to 39, then 38. And after 3 days, the WBC shoot up. Very, very amazing. So that's really how just to underscore, Miss Cindy, my advice that you need to give your child Hemohim. I don't know how young she is or he, but you can always extrapolate. I never really am. Yeah, I am very confident about giving Hemohim even among younger children. Although if you read our Atomy website, it says do not give for children below 6 years old. I had often asked my Korean upline in New York, when will Atomy come up with an Hemohim preparation that is suitable for the younger age group? He kept on telling me, oh, they're working on it. There will be a separate preparation for kids. But it was never coming up until now. It never came. Again, let me share with you another story. This happened to my own daughter, 2019, when she was pregnant with her second child. She never told me that she had any health problems at that point. She was always healthy, so I really didn't worry. And then my husband compelled her to come over and do our itinerary for our trip to Turkey. She always did that. Whenever we would travel, she would be the one to prepare our itinerary. So she came over. That was the first time we saw her after months of not seeing her. And I was really surprised because, excuse me. I was really surprised because a day before she came, she told me, Ma, you have to prepare this kind of food, this kind of food, this kind of food. So I was asking myself, why a very rigid diet? Why she is taking on a very rigid diet? So anyway, she didn't expound any further, but I just did what she requested us to do. And when she came over, she looked very sad. So what's troubling you? And that was the very first time she told me that she has been diagnosed with gestational diabetes, or diabetes which occurs when one is pregnant. So in a way that offended me because she did not disclose to me, considering that her mother is a doctor and her dad is also a doctor, but she did not disclose it to us. So I asked her, why didn't you even tell us much earlier? So what are you doing now, or how are you managing the problem? And again, it really made me so sad that she was already on insulin. And she was taking her blood test as per advice of her endocrinologist, testing her blood sugar 4 times a day, random blood sugar testing, and insulin once a day. So I couldn't bear the thought that it will happen to my own daughter, etc., etc. So I advised her, you need to take Himuhim. So while trying to explain why she needs to take Himuhim, she was already Googling it. How safe is it for pregnant women, etc. And then she told me, Ma, it says here that Himuhim can even can even lead to a spike of blood sugar. So why will I take it? And I'm already a diabetic, etc. So I had to explain further that is just a precaution. I have actually yet to encounter it among all those patients whom I have recommended this to. And anyway, if ever it happens, at least there is that precaution and with the assurance that it's only a temporary thing, which will normalize in a few days. So don't worry about it. What is important is you have to address your problem now. And I'm telling you, I'm imposing on you. You cannot say no to me. I am imposing on you. You have to take Himuhim. So we sent her home with that big box of Himuhim. Let me know because again, I will be monitoring you very closely. And then she said, actually a week from now was her schedule with her endocrinologist. And every time she would follow up, she needed to bring a new test results to present to the endo. So I waited for that day that she would follow up. And then immediately after her follow-up, she texted me with all excitement. She told me, Ma, my endocrinologist is really very amazed. How come I was able to control my blood sugar in that span of time? Of course, I didn't tell her I'm taking Himuhim. You should have told her, but anyway, that's already beside the point. I'm just so happy that she really improved that fast. So the endo on that follow-up advised her, discontinue insulin, bring down your frequency of blood testing from 4 to only once a day. Can you imagine the relief, the comfort it brings, not just in my case, but to every patient or whoever whose lives or health issues will be touched by our Atomy health supplements. So she gave birth to a very handsome boy, very intelligent, even precocious. So it didn't have any side effect on the baby. In fact, I was worried, but I was asking myself, did him have any effect on the child because the child was growing too big for his age? He's taller than his peers. But no, he's a very normal, healthy, intelligent boy. So I'm really very grateful. So that really gave me more confidence that even though we have that precaution not to give it for 6 years old and below, I have given it most, because I'm a pediatrician actually. The only reason why I have embraced the practice for the adult patients, I have always kidded my members. I have transformed or evolved from a pediatrician to a geriatrician because most of the people who have health conditions are the adults. So when I started to embrace Atomy, I really decided I cannot really put myself in a situation where I will be misinforming people. So I need to educate myself first and foremost. So again, I proactively enrolled in a lot of docuseries, a lot of health seminars that would really educate me along these lines. So again, that's it. Giving your child the Himuhim, don't worry, even if she's just a child, there will be no toxic effects.
Okay,
Ma'am, can I ask how much is the dosage should he be taken, or is it okay to give him 1 pack of Himuhim every day, or
What is the age?
or half of it night and day?
What's the
He
age
is
of
4
your
years old only.
I can confidently say start with 1 sachet a day. 1 sachet. You can
1
give it,
sachet every
you
morning,
can divide
ma'am.
it. You can do it that way, or as you're just starting, you can just divide it, split it, half sachet in the morning, half sachet in the afternoon. And then if there are no untoward effects, then just give the whole sachet every morning. In fact, that grandson of mine who I was telling you about, he's now only 2.5 years old. And whenever he sees her mom opening her sachet, he would try to grab it, and then he would be the one to drink it. he really loves him. So that's it. You can split it, and then if okay naman na walang untoward effects, then, and I expect naman walang untoward effects, then you can give the full sachet every morning. It really amazes me that it seems to me that children love the taste more than adults. Adults, I don't know, sometimes they would complain they don't like the taste, they cannot tolerate it, etc. With children, mostly, they like it, they love it, they enjoy it, except, of course, with a few exceptions.
Actually, my kids before, they don't like the taste, and then when I give them every time, they used to the taste already. They get used to the taste already.
Yeah, acquired taste. It's really an acquired taste.
Yes.
I learned from the Chinese because
Thank
we
you so
have
much,
this.
Mom.
Okay, we have this weekend a Zoom meeting with Skyline, New York, and some of the attendees there are Chinese from Canada, etc. So one of the Sharon Rose Masters from Canada, they told us that among the Chinese, they have this taste test, which is very much validated among them. So how it goes is that when you are sick and you take Himuhim, the taste is really something repulsive. You really won't like it. They don't like it. But once you start to improve, then your taste also improves. The taste buds will tell you differently this time. Oh, it's good. I like it. I love it.
Yes,
And
yes,
that is
that's
their
true.
number one indicator that the patient is improving. When the acceptability of the taste becomes better, that means they are starting to improve.
Okay, thank you very much for sharing those stories, Dr. Ofelia Tordesillas. Those are great reference for us, especially if we encounter the same situation. So let's get back now to Ma'am Liberty Pataksil to your question, Ma'am. You kindly unmute your mic, Ma'am.
Good morning. Good morning, Doc.
Good morning.
Good morning po. Your topic is about macular degeneration. And in my case, Doc, kasi I was diagnosed with branch retinal vein occlusion. So that is clogging of the vein. You recommended products like Alaska Omega, Spirulina, Milk Thistle, Himuhim. Actually, except the Milk Thistle, I am taking that already. Now, my question is, since we are talking about the macular degeneration, is it also those supplement, will that also be applicable to me, to my case, having BRBO?
Yeah, let me ask you first. What is the underlying disease why you ended up with RBO?
Initially, they suspected, or I think I had hypertension. That was their suspect. That's because the reason I had that BRBO, that was caused by mild stroke, said. So I did not know that I had that. But then my eyes were affected. My left eye was affected. And they are giving me injections before. But mga few months after the pandemic, I stopped taking it until I met these Atomy products. I took it.
Because in some instances, most instances, retinal vein occlusion is associated with multiple sclerosis. I don't know if it has ever been discussed. And one of the more common manifestations of multiple sclerosis is retinal vein occlusion. Now, again, let me share. I have a lot of stories, but just one sharing. I have a classmate, a doctor based in USA, who has been diagnosed with multiple sclerosis and has really significant retinal vein occlusion. When she joined Atomy, she could hardly read. And I know that for a fact because she would always call me up, please order for me because I cannot read. I can hardly read. Please order for me. So I had to do it for her. So about 2 to 3 months after taking the Himuhim, the Omega, and the probiotics, then she started to be able to order on her own because she could now start reading. And whereas before, she could hardly stand up for long because she always felt weak. She could hardly walk. This time, she could ambulate a lot better. A lot of improvements. But yeah, most importantly, her eyesight began to improve. So she could now do things without relying on people, do things on her own. So when in your case, if you have not been, maybe you're not a case of multiple sclerosis because otherwise your doctor would have told you there will be a lot of other manifestations. And if you're telling me that your RBO is secondary to an underlying hypertension, then again, how important is it that you should be taking all your anti-inflammatory, antioxidant supplements? Very important, because what is hypertension? It is a symptom of inflammation. It is a symptom of inflammation. So you could be taking all those mainstream medications like amlodipine, losartan, etc., to address the BP, which is really also important, is to be able to lower it. But if you are not going to address the underlying inflammation or oxidative stress, then that symptom of inflammation will just continue to be there. And once you discontinue the antihypertensive meds, again, the BP increase will recur. But if you try to control what is going on underneath by what is causing the symptom, you address the inflammation, you address the oxidative stress through the use of your Himuhim, your Omega, and all those that I've been trying to teach, then it could really bring you to a point or situation where you can already let go of your maintenance medications. But it will take a while and you have to really coordinate properly with your doctor. For one, whenever I will be asked, do we have to discontinue whatever maintenance meds we're taking? I always advise them, no, you have to continue. We're just introducing the Atomy Health supplements as adjuvants. But if it brings you to a point where everything is normal with the adjuvants, and even if you discontinue the maintenance meds, all the symptoms are within normal, then I can confidently say, yes, you may continue to maybe reduce the dose or take out this med or take them out altogether. It depends on the overall profile, health profile. So going back to your case, RBO, can it be helped by all the things that I have discussed? Definitely, because most of them are anti-inflammatory. You're talking of Himuhim, your Omega, your Spirulina, your lutein, they're all anti-inflammatory. They're all antioxidants. And therefore, they will help address that so that your hypertension can eventually be a thing of the past, hopefully. You have to also be mindful of a healthy lifestyle. It's not enough that we're saying you have to take this, you have to take that. But if you keep on exposing yourself to unhealthy lifestyle choices, then you're defeating the purpose also.
Thank you, Doc.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much for answering that question. Okay, last one question. I see Ma'am Erlinda Tismo raising her hand. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, yes. Good morning to all. And thank you, Doctora, for that very informative lecture today. I really learned a lot.
You're welcome.
Yeah. I'm now taking eye health Luwazantin, Doctora, for my So
Luwasantin, is that the preparation that comes directly from Korea?
yes, ma'am.
That is
Before
an
I was
advantage.
Yeah, before I was taking also lutein, but
Mhm.
when I learned about the one with the luosantin,
Yes.
I changed my. Does luosantin contain enough lutein?
Actually, it's
To
an
prevent-
improvement. It is an improved formula or formulation improvement over what we had before. What we had before was simply lutein, but that preparation that comes from Korea is actually on top of lutein, and you have that. I know lutein is there. The other, is it lubasantin or zeaxanthin, whatever is there. It's, as I have said earlier, they're part of the xanthophiles. Lutein, zeaxanthin, mesozeaxanthin, they're all xanthophiles. And yeah, that one is much better than what we have here. So you should really be very grateful you're getting that.
Yes,
Mhm.
Doctora, I'm so grateful. Now, Doctora, if I can just ask another question. One of my grandchildren is now confined in the hospital. I think she was confined yesterday, and she is now about 28 years old. Now, it's because of dengue.
Mhm.
So, what can you recommend, Doctora?
Himuhim number 1. Again, I have tried it in some of my dengue cases. It brings the platelets up fast. Remember that your himuhim acts on your bone marrow,
Yes,
acts
ma'am.
on your hematopoietic stem cells. The hematopoietic stem cells are the precursors of all your blood elements, the red blood cells, the white blood cells, and the platelets. So when you take himuhim, you're really helping your bone marrow produce more platelets. And that is exactly what dengue patients need. That's why the platelets are being monitored very closely, because any significant drop in platelet count could lead to bleeding, because platelet is one of the most important clotting factors. In the presence of your platelets, your blood should clot properly, but if it drops down, then it fails to clot properly, and then you can bleed profusely. That's why you need the platelets to be at that ideal level. It really works fast. Again, don't tell the doctor because they will not allow. One one patient even told me, Doc, our attending physician has advised us not to give our child anything that is colored because it might confuse them as to the interpretation of the bowel movement, where it could be bleeding, and so taking any colored food might mislead them. Is it food or is it secondary to bleeding? So I told the mom, that's a lot of bullshit. You're telling me they will be confused as to the interpretation of what they see in the stools? Come on. There are clinical symptoms by which they can measure the status of the patient. If they're bleeding, they will be in shock or whatever. But that is a very minor thing. Interpretation of the color of he will not even discolor your stool to that extent to confuse you.
Doctora, can I ask how much dosage to give her? Just in case.
28. How low is the platelet count at this point?
I really don't know, Doctora, because I asked my son.
Mhm. You can never
He
go
did
wrong
tell me
with 3 sachets a day.
3 sachets a day, Doctora.
Yes, 3 sachets a day, and then you can work your way up or work your way down depending on the status. By that, I mean, you start with 3 platelets a day, 3 sachets of hemohim a day, and then when you see the platelet improving fast, then you can, at that point, start working down, maybe lower it to 2 or maintain at 3 until it's just really very stable already. Then you can work down. Work up if at 3 a day, then the platelet still continues to decline, then increase your hemohim. You can never go wrong. Increase it to 4, 5, or 6, it doesn't matter. I mean, it matters because the outcome of the treatment is always dose dependent. The higher the dose, the better the outcome. The only hurdle that can come in the way is when it's not within their budget.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, Doctora, for that very
Okay.
informative.
Okay. Thank you very much for answering that question, Dr. Ofelia Tordesillas. I know you all have a lot of questions, but we are over time, so we're giving one last chance to our Zoom attendees to ask their question. Yes, Ma'am Miles Monares, can you unmute, ma'am?
Okay, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Doctora.
Good
I
morning.
have a question about lutein. Will it help heal cataracts? My father has his eye doctor said the stubborn kind. It is brown and not white. So I wonder if lutein will help, or luasantin, or a combination of anything that he might take.
Luvasantin will always be better because
Okay.
yeah, it's a combination already of not just lutein but another xanthophyll, and you can always give it a try. Again, just to share with you, I have an aunt based in New York, operated on for cataract on her left eye, and the doctor told her, come back after 6 months as we have to also operate on your right eye, because as of now it's not mature yet, but we have to observe if after 6 months it matures, then we'll have to go for it also. So when my sister, who is the Atomy member in New York, learned about her situation, she encouraged her, you have to take lutein, two every night after dinner. They had no luvasantin yet at that time, so lutein 2 at dinner time. So she obliged, religiously took it. After 6 months, the eye doctor said, whoa, we don't have to operate on you anymore. I don't see any cataract anymore on your right eye. So that was really very encouraging sharing. And again, let me emphasize at this point, even if you have been operated on for cataract, both eyes maybe, you still have to take lutein because you still have your macula to take care of. Some people would say, I don't need that because both my cataracts had been removed. But remember, the macula is an even more serious problem if it degenerates because there's no treatment for it. They usually give here, or even internationally, the treatment is to inject with once a month. I think it's Avastin, they inject with that. In the Philippines, it costs 20,000 pesos once a month injection. And the purpose is just to maintain the problem on status quo, for it not to progress any further, but not really to bring it back to normal. Again, most of the feedbacks are, it doesn't work.
Okay. Thank you very much for that, Doctor.
Okay, thank you very much for answering all our questions, Dr. Ofelia Tordesillas. Actually, we still have a lot of questions, but maybe on the next time that we will be given a chance to invite you on our seminar. Again, let's clap our hands to Dr. Ofelia Tordesillas for this very amazing topic and lecture that she shared with us this morning. And also thank you to all our Zoom attendees and to all our Facebook viewers. Okay, and to end up with our morning meeting, we will be reciting our company motto. So may I ask everyone to please open our camera and unmute our mic to recite our company motto. Ready, position, please.
Yeah.
Company motto, go.
There is
There is the spirit,
Create
create
the
the
vision,
vision,
follow
follow
the
the
faith,
faith,
serve
serve
humility.
humility.
Aja,
Aja, aja, aja.